We have a school board meeting today.
Yeah, we on?
I'm asking.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jim's up with us yet or not. Okay, Jim's with us.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
We're on for today for school board at 3:30.
Okay.
Yep, sure are.
What's on the agenda today?
Well,
or have
right.
they told you yet?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, we look at that every now and then. But yeah, we actually are honoring kids who have taken part in the tag art.
I saw some of that yesterday. It was really good.
Yeah, Linda Myers, our tax collector, has done that for several years, and kids have really turned out for that. And some of the stuff, I mean, I actually had one that we called it Superintendent's Choice, and had a big gator on it and all that. But
You would like that.
Yeah, I'm a gator. But things that represent our town, our community, kids are really talented, and
We have some very talented kids in this town with art.
really are. And the good thing about this too is the money that's raised from the sale of the tags goes back to that school.
Does all of it go back, or just I don't know what the state gets out of it, because the state's going to take their cut up top. But I know
I'm not
that
sure what
some
the
comes
percentage
back.
is, but I know the most part goes back to the school.
That's great.
Yeah, that is. And we actually had a month or two had a big ceremony at the St. Johns River Auditorium, in the college auditorium, and honored all the kids who took part. And they told us how much each school was getting from that. So that was really a neat way for schools to raise money and kids to
A very
take part.
positive way to do it.
Sure it is. Sure is.
So we got because and I know it's April, but you only have 6 weeks of school left.
Something like that. Yeah.
Wait a minute, if I can remember, 28 days. Somebody told me that one of the teachers told me the other day. She's got it down to the hours.
May
and minutes.
31st.
Yeah, she has it down to hours.
However
and
many
minutes.
days that is. Something else I want to mention. I tried to talk last time. I think I had to get Felicia to come talk for me, but we had because I had laryngitis. But we had we talked about product of Putnam. I don't know if you were here that last
No,
time.
I was out that week.
Yeah.
No, you were out, but we do have some of the forms here.
Yeah, and you can actually go online look on our Facebook.
Yeah, I think
and
we
our
had a
website.
question about the form, because we got somebody we want to nominate. We just didn't know if they had to have a resume with it.
No, not at all. Not at
Okay,
all.
that's what we need to know.
And all you got to do is just fill out a form. Take you about 30 seconds. Just write a few brief sentences about why that person contributes to Putnam County. But the only requirements are that they have to have graduated from a Putnam County school, and they have to be working or volunteering or doing something currently in Putnam County. So again, we're trying to encourage people who go to Putnam County to come back to Putnam County and be a part of that. And so we're going to recognize people in whatever ages. It doesn't have to be a recent graduate, but in different fields like medicine and vocational, professional, education. There's about 6 or 7 different categories.
And community service, right?
Community service, right? So it's just a way that the other thing that somebody mentioned to us are that these people can be valuable resources to go back in our schools and mentor or talk to kids and say, hey, I went to the school, look what I'm doing now. So really a role model, if you will.
And we need a lot of those in the schools. Any idea yet where graduation rates are going to stand this year?
We don't
Is it
have
too early yet?
Well, yeah, we're because we still have kids who are doing last minute kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to say yet, but I'm optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah, optimistic. We have a lot of people that are working hard, and very, very competitive. Wanting to do. When I say competitive, they're wanting to do the best they can for their school and have their school, do the best it can compared to the state and the rest of the schools. So.
I got tickled. My granddaughter's a junior this year. She'll be senior next year, and she's already worried about the chords. She said, I already got 2. I got to get that 3rd one. And this is before she goes into her senior year.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, all I could think with your brother was, can I pray you across the stage? Because it's the only way you're going to get through it. But,
Yeah, we get caught up in the numbers, and
Yeah.
the numbers are good, and that's a way of measuring our success, and that is good. I don't want to take away from that, but graduation rates represent students, individual students are
completions.
completing, graduating on time, getting jobs, successful. That's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
if we can't help kids be successful, then we're not doing our job. So that's what that measures is our kids' success, and I celebrate that.
I watched a lot of them have a lot of success at the fair this week, or last month rather. I can't believe it's been a month already. But a lot of artwork that was phenomenal, photography, animals, all different realms of things that the kids do, and it was amazing. And I hope people that were out there took time to go over and to the exhibit hall and see all those things the kids have been doing and realize that those aren't adult projects, those are kids.
Yeah. Well, you got to feel good about the future of Putnam County
Yeah.
and the hard work, you know, the showing the animals. That's not a one-day deal. That's a long-term effort.
They already have heifers for next year, and steers come in not much later than this. They don't get pigs until about Thanksgiving. But it's an ongoing process.
But look at what kids learn from that. You know, work ethic, managing money, managing time.
Yes.
You know, what kids gain from that is unbelievable.
It really is, and
It's a commitment.
Sure it is.
yeah. I think we even had a meat judging team this year for FFA.
Did
I
we?
think I saw something in the paper the other day about them.
I know my granddaughter does a lot of judging horse judging.
Horse judging.
Mhm. Yeah.
She does involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like the word commitment, and that's kind of one of our
It
one of our
does,
core
because-
values is
Could the commitment for them to raise an animal and to do, I mean, that's getting up 45 minutes to an hour earlier, and these girls aren't real thrilled about that, but they do it. And get all that done to make that commitment to do all that. And then they have to do budgets. They have to work on a feed budget and prepare for sickness and everything else. So that's all part of learning.
well, our kids get a bad rap these days, and you know people say these kids aren't committed to anything, and all they do is look at cell phones. But you know, I beg to differ that kids do have a commitment about things that are important.
Well, you know, we talk about the FFA kids a lot because that's what my kid is involved in these days. But you look at the kids that play sports and the commitment they have to make practices and to do their homework, and the kids that work and still get all their schoolwork done. And it's not just, life isn't always a bowl full of cherries.
Well, Susan, you raise a good point, and I've seen this over time. The kids who are the busiest, it's like those kids who are playing sports and are involved in the fair. Those kids are still pulling down A's and B's.
Yeah.
And you wonder how they do that, and it's because they have learned how to manage their time.
Time management.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's those kids that are not passionate about something. I've told kids for years, just coming to school and going to class every day and then going home is a drag. That's not what it's about.
No, you've got to be involved.
This is the most exciting time of your life, and you need to get involved in extracurricular activities.
And we had one that was really hard for us to make him understand that this is the best time. Get out and enjoy it, and the more you do, the more you learn.
Yeah. I wish I could redo it again. I would.
Yeah, if I could do it when I know, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really had.
I'd have learned algebra.
Yeah, well, me too. But I had the best time in high school because I took part in stuff, and I just loved it,
Yeah.
But I think kids now, you see, they really have a joy and a passion, and that carries on into the adulthood. And that's why we want to celebrate people who have gone through our school system and decide to come back and give back to our community.
And kids that are involved in school will be involved in their communities as adults.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need. We need them to come back as adults and become involved in their school, in their community.
Community service, like you were talking
Yeah.
about. That's such
Right.
an important part of making this community better. And we do have summits going on.
There used to be a program years ago where, and I haven't heard anything about it lately, but used to be where businessmen would come back and be mentors
Mm-hmm.
for some of the younger people and other businessmen too. I
Yeah,
haven't heard about that program.
like
I think it was
JC's.
in,
JC's used to do that.
Yeah,
and,
JC's used to do
I
Junior
was involved
Achievement.
with the JC's.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of organizations, and if people want to mentor, just going and having lunch with a kid,
Yeah.
especially those kids you walk in the cafeteria and they may not have a friend or something.
It's those that are sitting off in the corner by themselves.
Right. So just to have somebody to talk to and give them advice.
We've been talking earlier this morning about World War II and some of the veterans, and my dad, I found a picture of my dad that I didn't even know existed. But that just brought to my mind that out in Interlaken, recently they had one of the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes.
I saw that. I saw that.
I would like to have been there that day.
And I would have loved for them to come to Palatka High School and out of QI. And, these veterans have so much to offer and so much to give in, like the Oriental philosophy is you honor the older people because they're wiser, they have the knowledge, and today we kind of just toss them aside.
And I would love to see, and a lot of our veterans have been involved in the schools, but for them to be able to go back in, especially the World War II veterans.
Yeah, the greatest generation.
Yes, because so many
Exactly.
people now are trying to convince things, oh, that didn't really happen. Well, yeah, it did really happen.
Well, where would we be now if it wasn't for the sacrifice of those guys?
I
Exactly.
probably not speaking American.
Yeah.
Speaking Japanese and German.
Yeah. And my dad was at the tail end of World War II, was part of the occupation force, but
So was my dad.
Yeah.
So,
and yeah, well said. And I was up in Tallahassee last week, and actually, there's a plaque in the courtyard of the Capitol with Robert Jenkins. Of course, Robert was a veteran. Yeah, this picture. Wow, was a veteran of the Vietnam War,
Right.
and actually Medal of Honor winner posthumously. Gave his life to help one of his fellow soldiers, and what a story. That's Putnam County graduate. Actually, I believe in 1967 graduate, I believe.
I think you're right.
And because I've met some of his classmates, but just gave his life, and what a tribute to someone who came from Putnam County.
Right.
And sometimes I wonder if we instill enough of that kind of history into our kids, and maybe that's something we need to. And the VFW do a lot. They do some scholarship programs, and they do some things, and where they have to write essays and do some stuff. So.
Yeah, and I think we all need to be reminded about how these people gave the ultimate sacrifice, and we can't just.
These kids at 16, 17 got out of school, and most of them their senior year in December and went straight to war.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, D-Day and Iwo Jima, they're forever 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
My dad was 20 years old in that picture.
Wow, wow. And we have so many that are coming home now from the war in Afghanistan and all that are dealing with a lot of mental issues and stuff.
Exactly.
We just got to make sure we take care of our own.
Well, I believe in that too. I know it's about time for us to wrap up. We
Yep.
need to know anything else?
No, and I need to know where to get the Nielsen Smilson shirts.
Well,
Gary
he
Nielsen.
walked in this morning and I thought, it's going to be a Smilson day, and I'm thinking, well, where's mine?
See
That-
Gary.
Gary was here last time.
Gary
Yeah.
came.
Right.
Gary sits in for me when I'm out.
Yeah, Gary's a longtime friend, my neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy.
So I'm
He
trying to
might-
get him to come in one day
He
and let
might
me
have
sit in the
one his
office.
stash in the back room.
That's probably Gary
That's
now.
probably him now.
All right, thanks, and we'll talk to you next
All right, good
2
seeing
weeks.
y'all.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.